Hi everyone, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here with you guys and to do this next week's reading. The reason I'm doing this a little bit early is that it fits well in my schedule, but today is a new moon and I wanted to be here live to say hi to you. I want to acknowledge that there's a couple readings that have yet to go up for the love readings for the rest of the year. The Aquarian and the Aries reading are in processing. Something's changed in the back end since I've posted a lot live, and I have to wait for them to clear. So the Aquarius one is ready, and right now, instead of filming the Aries, I'm doing this live so you all get a message for the new moon. I feel like the new moon is super important, and so I hope that it brings you a lot of love, luck, happiness, and good energy. Going along the theme of the new moon, I'm actually switching up the cards that I use to pick the order. I'm just tired of reading like Capricorn as the devil, Scorpio as death, and so forth. So some of the cards that I'm just kind of tired reading as certain things, I swapped up for their astrological significance, and I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you like the change. I'm sure Capricorns and Scorpios will approve, not being the devil and not being the devil and death anymore, at least for now. Let me know how you like that in the comments. So last week we did, or a week and a half ago now, we did a collective reading to start off with. I really like that because it gets me really tuned into your guys' frequencies. So what I thought I would do is do a collective reading, the 20 card spread that I did in your July through December love reading, and then we'll get into the astrology. There's a lot coming. Another reason that I'm doing this early is because I feel the next week will be very important, and it starts today with the new moon. And I think that getting your head in the right place and getting your heart's in the right place, but getting everything in the right place and really focusing on that will bring positivity to you. It's a real week in which, on a personal level, you have the potential to shift and change and set course in a very good direction in your life. So I hope you enjoy it. And sorry I'm a little bit early. I know I scheduled this for after 1, but I got ready early, so here we go. We're ready. Okay? So thanks for being here, you guys. I'm excited that you're here, and I'm going to just do the collective. So this is a collective reading. This is kind of like my read the room, so there will be a lot of different messages. If a message isn't for you, then it's meant for someone else. This is for people who are watching live and also people who are watching the saved version. I kind of believe that if you're live watching, then this frequency might be stronger for you, but everybody's welcome, okay? So let's begin. This is just an overview of what we're stepping into in this very, very special week that's starting on Friday this week, the 9th of July, okay? And I wish you guys all the best. If you don't watch the rest of the video, I want you guys to be in a great headspace and really hopeful about your lives. I want you to take the next step forward. I want you to feel good about yourself. And I want you to release anything that's holding you back, because it's so necessary with these transits, okay? So astrological, and we'll explain that in just a moment. So the first card, look, we have the Death card. So right off the bat, this is a sign of massive change that is around us at this time, change and transformation. We will acknowledge that this is the Scorpio card. So for some of you, Scorpio energy is very important. But also, if you're a Scorpio, pay attention to this, right? Moon in Libra, the 2 of Swords coming up next. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles, Moon in Taurus. Very, very nice energy. We get a Moon in Libra this week between to Thursday and Friday, so the 15th through the 16th, and into the 17th Saturday. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then we have Jupiter in Pisces, the 9 of Cups. So Jupiter is in Pisces now, a very lucky energy. And then Moon in Aquarius. Where's my Aquarius Moon friends? I'm an Aquarian Moon, if you don't know. And a lot of Aquarian Moons love to watch the channel because I love to talk about it. I love the Aquarian Moon so much. I'm so lucky to have that. Okay, so, and so are you if you have it. Anyway, so let's take a look at this first line of energy. I feel as though somebody might be backing out of a situation, and specifically the person who this message is for might be backing out of a situation because of a lack of knowledge about what to do. So you may not be sure how to approach a situation, and so therefore you take a step back. I think somebody is being very generous with someone else on a financial level. You might receive some money, especially from a superior, such as a boss or an owner of a company. There could be change. Now, this isn't for everybody, but if you're going through a change in your job or career, you might be leaving a job at this time. I don't think this is a surprise for those of you who this message is for. But you may receive like a outgoing package, a financial outcome, in a positive way. In terms of love, it looks actually really good. I feel like women are very open at this time, very ready to give, on a physical level, being generous, and it doesn't, sometimes, how do you say, women clam up, or people in general, they clam up when they feel threatened in a relationship, right? And so they clam up and they stop physically giving when they're emotionally not feeling so great about trust, and like a lack of trust in a relationship causes people to pull back. In this message, actually, it seems as though there's a confidence here for those of you who are in relationships or meeting people for the first time. There's like a laying down of the walls, like feeling more trusting towards the situation and more confident. On the masculine side of things, I think that the masculine is either doing everything in a very positive way and really stepping into flow in relationships, or on the other hand, they're being very generous and emotionally fulfilling. So there's a happiness there within relationships. If you're single, again, there's an openness there that you can trust, and then you can put yourself out there a bit more. I'll expand on this in the astrology, because this week, I'll give you guys a preview. I would say that it's a bit, there's 3 parts to this week astrologically, and they're not the same. There's like a part where you need to work really fast and really hard and you'll achieve a lot. And then there's 2 parts where you need to be a bit more careful. So I'll tell you guys about that too. As I was saying that, I got an intuitive download, and the intuitive download is, at this time, get prepared to simplify your life. Such things as things that you love around yourself, especially of a material nature. You guys know I like my knickknacks. I'm a Virgo, so I love like my little pieces of stuff, especially crystals and whatnot. Sometimes even the things we love physically around ourselves, when we take them out of our physical presence, donate them or give them to friends, or maybe just put them away for a time, it creates space around us, right? And when you create space, then there's an openness. This is a good time to kind of do that at this time. This card specifically speaks to this, in which you want to sort of be open to the changes that this week brings and keep an open mind to everything. Not everything's perfect this week. There will be moments where you feel a little bit intimidated by the frequency, or the things that may be going on in the outside world. But I sense that there's a very nice energy of safety and comfort and a good stability from which to build from, especially around the home, around the family, around relationships, which this new moon brings. So very exciting. I actually really like this frequency here. Okay, so next line, we're doing 20 cards. It's just an intro collective message. So if you have a sibling or a cousin, could be a male, could be female, but this is a knight, so it could be a man. This person could be coming through at this time with an important message or an insistence to communicate. They could be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, but that's not necessary. These are general guidelines with the court cards always. So you should never take that as it has to be an air sign. But it does feel as though somebody in your family is reaching out to you. I feel like they're of a younger frequency and they really want you to know something. There's a persistence there. Somebody insists that they want to communicate and so forth. So not every message is for everybody, right? We have the Last Judgment card next. And then we have the World card next. By the way, this is funny because I swapped up this whole changing of the cards thing has to do with mostly Capricorn and Scorpio. I love Capricorns. I love Scorpios. I hate telling them that they're the death and the devil. I'm just sick of it. So I'm going by your rulers. So Saturn rules the World card. So Capricorns, you guys become the world. So that's nice, right? We like this. And Scorpios, you become Judgment, which I think is much more expressive of your energy than the Death card. I recognize both, but we just need a little change with that, okay? Then we have Sun in Gemini. Again, as an association, I don't want to pin it on Geminis. Sun in Gemini, 10 of Swords. I actually really like the 10 of Swords. It's breathing room and relaxation, step away from trouble, all those things. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. That's Mercury in Virgo. Beautiful. Mercury in Virgo is in a very strong position. Listen, right off the second bat, a message for all. And I think it connects to my comments on the first message that this is a frequency that is very strong for family and family relationships and closeness with other people. Cancer new moon has this property. Venus and Mars have this property. A lot of the water transits that are coming in are very emotional and very connected to the idea of our emotions connecting with other people. And so family dynamics are at a high point. Now, if you struggle with family dynamics, I don't mean to trigger you. Look for people outside of your family. I've worked as a social worker. I know not everybody has the same dynamics, right? And that's okay. Look for kindred spirits outside of your blood family. Family does not have to mean your blood family and so forth. But your family is very close and very protective to you at this time. This is a really beautiful second line. One of the messages that I'm getting is that you're making a big decision, and that decision could be informed by what the Knight of Swords says. So somebody tells you something, and that finally prompts you to move on from not knowing or holding back from making a decision about your life, and then finally making a decision. An aspect of this decision may be tough. Like I said, this week isn't perfect in the sense that there's nothing astrologically happening that we can't contend with. July won't have that. Frankly, most astrology never, and there is not like a month or like a perfect time, anytime. It's always a mix of good and bad. So don't be freaked out by, I've heard people say like a lot of different things. I mean, frankly, in my opinion, in astrology, there's always a catch. In life, there's always a catch. Don't look for perfection because you'll be disappointed. But it's pretty good, and the great thing about this week is that it's a self-starter week. It's a week in which you can really move forward with certain things and really get a handle on things in your life, and that's a beautiful thing. So this 10 of Swords, in my opinion, is the decision you're making. I think that there's reasons why you have been holding back on making it. And some of the consequences are that you're going to have to move past certain things. You're going to have to let certain things go. You're going to have to move on. You're going to have to release. But there's this family, this community around you that really loves you and welcomes you. And I think that this is about separating yourself from what does not matter to what does. Now, the Seven of Swords, we all know this. It could mean like something like thievery or something like disingenuous or dishonest. I'm a moon in Aquarius, as I said. And in the Seven of Swords, we have the moon in Aquarius. The best thing about moon in Aquarius is instinct. We're very, very good at disassociating ourselves and looking objectively at circumstances. If you have Aquarian transits, you know this about Aquarian. And so in this case, I feel like all of you, no matter what your sign is, for whomever this message resonates, but I think it's a general frequency for the collective. There's this kind of no-go zone. Like, you know that you can't go in that direction. You know that direction is not good for you. And so you're going in a new direction. You're going in a new direction. I just tripped myself out looking at the viewfinder. Sorry. So you're going in a new direction. You know, you have to kind of go away from something that's not working, that the light bulb goes off, like this is not going to be what I want it to be. Okay, so next line, let's take a look. We have the Five of Swords. Okay, that's not that bad here. It means that some kind of a fight or disagreement is coming to an end. So if you're in a conflict with someone, it's over and you're moving on. Okay, so that's exciting. I like that. The next message is the Page of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Again, general guide. Another fire card, Sag, Leo, or Aries. This one, air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Frequencies. This week is a lot of fire. All of July is a lot of fire, but there's a lot of fire going on in the middle of the week between Tuesday and Thursday, Friday. We have a real focus on fire. Another fire card, the Emperor, Aries, where are you guys at? And then the last card for this third row, we have the Four of Swords. So I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys got a chance to read it, but I said, like, I don't remember what I said, but it's like all systems go. The idea is that this week you're supposed to put a lot of effort towards what you want, put action behind passion, and make it count. So what is your antithesis of your action? What is the opposite thing of what you're supposed to do? Is rest and tap out. So you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be engaged and do your thing and put passion. Like, it's not about showing to anyone that you're active. It's proving to yourself and putting all your effort behind your action so you can go in the direction that you need. So do that, please, by all means. Do that, please. Do what you need to do. Speak to your soul and make that connection, and then put actions behind your desires. Now, this is something that I was toying with asking you guys before I started going live, and then I was like, no, but now I feel like I should ask it. So maybe not this week, but the following week or wherever. I was thinking of offering to you guys the playlist that I did for the new moon and the love between July and December for certain transits. So when a lot's going on, do you guys want me to put together a playlist of Reiki and meditations that I've done in the past, explanations where you guys can just go in and check them out and see, like, as a supplement to what we're talking about here? Let me know in the comments if you do, and then we'll do that. So for this, do you guys want like me to go through my past videos and pick out the ones that will help you get the most energized, for the things you want to achieve? So let's talk about this third row in detail. So definitely you're freed from a conflict. This is a message for someone. If it's not you, by all means. I feel as though you're freed from a conflict. If there's been you versus someone else, you get to go. You get to, everything's fine. You're moving on. And somehow it's resolved without a fight. Somehow it's resolved without issues. and now you are free and really stepping into your passion. And this week, it's really about not who you are in the world, not the external, but really how your internal interacts with the world and how you authentically express yourself in the world and how you materialize that, how you manifest that. It's like you're writing on it's almost like a blank page of paper in which you're defining yourself all over again. So it's a very powerful week. Really watch how you think, how you how you think of yourself. Really, especially with new moons, be careful of negative thinking, be careful of anxious thoughts, and really try to pump up the confident and the positive ideas. But here we have a lot of fire people important, maybe an Aries energy. But I think that in terms of love, I feel like it's almost love like people speaking to each other through passion, like telling each other what they want, whether it's romantic love or whether it's platonic love. I think you'll find yourselves actually blurting things out to others. So if you love them, you might tell them. It's kind of like there's an urgency there, like you're very eager to say what you want. Suddenly you can't hold it back. It's the mix of water and fire energy this week that will make you this way. If you are blurting out to someone that you love them, like you're talking in conversation, it's like, you're saying like these things and you can't help yourself. This is a really good sign that this relationship is going in a good way, but it may take some time. So even though you feel the insistence of say those things, don't feel defeated if it's not happening immediately, which it may happen immediately, but don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen immediately. In this position, this is saying that it might actually take some time, okay? So we can go on. I know it's 20 minutes. I'm playing with this format of doing a collective reading at the beginning. You guys can tell me if you like it or not, but it's also for the new moon. I just wanted to make sure, because Aries and Aquarius are still waiting to be cleared, and so they don't have their July through December love readings, so I wanted to make sure they have something to watch or something to reflect on for the new moon. I feel this moon is very special, and I hope that it's special for you too. I hope it brings you positivity. So we have the Empress next. Okay, so this is like if you've been waiting on something, if you've been waiting to if you've been waiting to start the next leg of your journey, to take the next step, I really feel like this is the time when you're really beginning it. And we'll talk about the astrology next to really break it down for you. So there's this insistence, like, should I really do this now? And it's in relationships, it's in your personal life, it's in your desires, mostly desires. It's like, and I don't mean desires like only passionate love feelings. I mean desires like, who do you want to be? Like, we've had enough people tell us no and hold us back. Be insistent. Who do you want to be? Do you want to spend the rest of your life holding back? Or is this the time in which you actually move forward? So you might be having moments of self-doubt because you want to stay humble through this process. You don't want to say, oh, like, this is all for me and everything's mine and me, I'm number one. No, you don't want to necessarily go that far, but there could be moments in which, like, you're reflecting on, like, is this too much? But I think in this frequency, you need to really honor yourself and move forward in the direction that you need to go in. Then we have the Page of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I feel as though passion, emotions mix with ideas. A new idea could be born for some of you. I feel like important conversations may happen between water types and air type people who may instigate a new beginning, open things up in a new direction. So be patient with the process. Be insisting with the energy that you want this lifestyle, that you want this reality, but be patient with how it turns out. There's some indication here that it takes time for these things to grow. So it's a funny frequency when you're mixing up like a high frequency vibration where you have a lot of energy towards something, where you want something really fast, where you're putting a lot of energy towards something, and then on the other hand having to wait for it to come into fruition, for it to really, really come into a good time for picking, you know, like harvest season. So be a little patient with, like, put your full energy in, but don't get discouraged if you're not getting like your how do you say, like, an immediate result. Immediate gratification is not your friend this week. Okay, so it doesn't mean that things won't happen, but I just feel like a little patience will save you a lot of nerves. Then we have the Empress here. So I actually swapped the Empress out for the Hierophant for our reading by all signs that I'm about to do. So this is Taurus energy as of now in my system, right? And so Taurus is very lucky. This is a huge, if you have Taurus placements, very lucky. Your July through December reading was phenomenal, and a lot of you guys were very happy with it. I think that it's just good energy coming your way. If you're dealing with a Taurus, there's a good turn of events for you in that direction. So be on the lookout. Also, relationships with your mother, relationships with important female figures. If you're in a relationship, an important communication with that person as well. If you're married to a female, or if you're in a relationship with a female, it's a very fated situation. I feel like women, this is a separate message, could be bringing in some new frequency for you guys. So what I mean by that is you can be introduced to a younger woman by a maternal, like your good friend might introduce you to someone really young and fun. And this does not necessarily mean for relationships. You might meet a new friend through someone else that you should get to know. On the bottom is the Ace of Rods. Like I said, random reading coming out a few days early, just full of energy right here. And yeah, these cards are really beautiful. So let me show you guys the astrology now. The astrology over the next week is pretty interesting and pretty high frequency. So I'm excited to tell you about that, and then we'll do the all sign reading. Okay, here's my hand. So anyway, so we start off with the new moon that happens in the sign of Cancer. We're about a few hours away, 5 hours from the new moon on July 9th when I'm filming. So it's like 6 p.m. West Coast time, Pacific time, and then 9 p.m. just after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I did a whole series on that. It's in the description, so go check that out. Okay, so we have this new moon. It's very significant. It's really connected to love and new beginnings. It's just a very nice new moon and very exciting frequency. We have a new moon. We have the moon moving into Leo on the 10th. So here is the moon's going to enter into Leo. Now, if you go back to I don't remember which video I talked, maybe July Astrology Collective, the one with the crab in the thumbnail. If you go back to that, that's in that Abundant Love playlist too. July 11th is a special day because the moon will join Mars and Venus that are about to join in Leo. Technically, they're already in a conjunction since last week, but they're getting closer and closer. They're approaching each other. So the moon on the 11th will join Mars and Venus in Leo. Very nice day, very full of fire energy. So we're here mixing the water and fire, the emotions and the passion is coming up. And when we mix passion and emotion, it gives us a lot of agency to act and have a lot of passion behind our actions. Mercury moves into Cancer on the Sunday, on the 11th Sunday, the moon joins Mars and Venus, and then also on Sunday, the 11th, the Mercury moves into Cancer. So when Mercury moves into Cancer, all of that cognitive stuff, all of the mental stuff we've been thinking about, all of us getting crystal clear on what we want, is going to come out through emotional talking, like telling people how we feel, or at least saying it to ourselves. What do you want? Getting in touch with your feelings. Mercury is the magician, right? So Mercury is the power of the word, manifestation, logos, puts everything into action. And when he enters into Cancer, our desires have a way through which, through our communication, to manifest, to ground down in this reality. And so be careful over the next few days how you think, how you talk, and make sure that it comes from a good place. Make sure that it's positive and helpful to what you want and not detracting from your energy. So we have Mercury at the beginning of Cancer this weekend. It's going to be a watery weekend this weekend, trining Jupiter, and then next weekend when the moon enters into Scorpio, so after everything we're about to talk about now, we're going to have a big grand trine between Jupiter, Mercury, and the moon in Scorpio. So everything that comes up this weekend will be full circle by next weekend, and hopefully you'll be seeing results by next Saturday specifically. Always with the moon transit, it's very fast because the moon transits each sign in 2.5 days. So that means that that grand trine, which is 3 different water signs activated all together, should be manifesting some results for what you start with this new moon in Cancer and what you kind of bring into action through Mercury in Cancer. So that's a real high point, but also kind of cautious, because if you're in a funk, if you're in a tough mood, it's been a tough week with these oppositions. You might have been up against something. You might have had to stand up for yourself. Unexpected things have been happening, you know, the ocean caught on fire, you know, like it's been a lot, you know, going on, Mars squaring Uranus and whatnot. There's a lot of those kinds of frequencies, abrupt explosions of, you know, the Haitian president was assassinated. Like there was a lot of stuff going on, and in your personal life possibly as well. But try to get on a positive plane for this weekend. Try to get on a positive frequency so that your emotions are settled, and so that you can begin this cycle for the manifestation for this cycle between Mercury in Cancer on the 11th, and then the new moon right now on the 9th and the 10th, and the grand trine next weekend between Mercury, Jupiter, and the moon. Beautiful, beautiful sequence. If you can tap into that energy, then that's great for you. It's a real starter energy. There's a lot of energies that are going on right now that are starter energies, and by that I mean big cycles can begin with these transits. So pay attention to them. They're good. And then in the middle of the week is when we have our high point, our climax, the most intense energies are happening. So that is when Mars and Venus join in Leo. They begin their cycle. Mars and Venus are always back and forth. So this where the cycle begins is kind of a funny conversation. But for the purpose of our astrology, the conjunction between Mars and Venus starts now. And in this sequence of their interaction, we're starting a cycle that will end in March 2022 in Aquarius and Capricorn. So we have this real kind of interplay between Mars and Venus. I talked about that in the July video, abundant love frequency. We'll talk about it elsewhere. But again, your heart's in the right place. Put it to good action. And just to remind you, the moon is forming a conjunction on Sunday, the 11th, between Mars and Venus as well. So those are wonderful energies to initiate what you want in terms of passion, in terms of love. Mars and Venus are inner planets, so self-determination. What do you want? Not in a narcissistic way, but claim your life. Claim what direction you want in your life, and really feel all the frequency. Once you connect with the feeling of something, you can bring that back, even if other things happen in your life. Once you connect with the frequency of what it feels like to have that or want that or deserve that. So many of us deny ourselves the frequency of being able to deserve something. This energy gives us the ability, a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of arrogance, dare I say, to pursue what we want, a little bit of guts, a little bit of bravery. Venus opposite Saturn last week. Now she's moving out of that aspect. Actually, many of you had stood against something that was oppressive in your lives. You suddenly felt this urge to say, I can't take it anymore. I have to say something. I have to do something. And so this is the consequence of that aspect. Saturn opposite Venus on the 7th, just a couple days ago, but we're talking about next week now. So that's where it heals. That's where you feel self-determined and whatnot. And I know I've talked about this a lot, but you're not going to hear about this from me for 20 years. So we have the North Node in Gemini, conjunct Aldebaran, the star. And so this is a very special transit. I can't even tell you guys how important it is, no matter what your sign is. If you're a Gemini, if you have Gemini placements, good for you. This is your time to shine. So this is about which direction you need to go and knowing which direction you need to go. At the same time, the sun is creating a trine to Neptune. Again, Sun and Neptune dynamic can really give us inspiration and agency to act in the direction that we want. So inspired action. At the same time, the moon moves into Libra. And so we'll spend there for the next 2.5 days. And so that will help us, the moon in Libra will help us transition back from the water frequencies that we're seeing in the other aspects of this week to a big finale over the weekend that I'm about to explain now. So moon in Libra is going to really transition us on the 15th, 16th, and into the 16th. To that grand trine I mentioned before in Scorpio between Mercury, Jupiter, and Scorpio. That references this new moon today on July 9th. And so it's kind of like it's a nice flow of frequency. So I know if you watched the whole video up until now, you know that I mentioned that at the beginning that it's a little bit push and pull. You know, last week we have Venus opposite Saturn, us against the system, standing up for ourselves. We can't take it anymore sort of frequency. I need to stand up for myself. I deserve more than this kind of frequency. But next weekend on the 17th and 18th, we have some very intense transits. First, the moon enters into Scorpio. The grand trine is nice, but the moon is weak in Scorpio, so we're all feeling emotionally turned in, right? A little bit really nitpicky. Speaking of Virgo being nitpicky, Scorpio moon nitpicks emotions, right? That's where the trouble is. It's like you pick up so sensitive that you pick up so many little details and you have to negotiate them, so it gets tough. But beyond that, the sun is going to form an opposition to Pluto. This happens once a year. And so this opposition between Sun and Pluto, again, us against the system, me against the biggest power block there is. And so I think that it's actually quite a healing transit, but it may manifest as outbursts, right? Outbursts of frequency, especially if something has been suppressed a lot. When the sun forms its opposition to Pluto, Pluto is pushing down on us individually, and Sun, like our savior, comes through and says, no way. You know, that's when you speak up. That's when, and sometimes that gets messy. So be careful with that energy on the 17th, Saturday, July, because you might feel, be careful how you wield it. It can be extremely helpful to get you unstuck and all of these things, but also at the same time, it can feel, if you're not self-aware through it, then you can it can be messy, like I said. And the last transit, and I don't mean to end on a kind of a tough note. So if you're sensitive, jump through to your individual sign reading. So I'll give you guys a second, jump off. I hope you guys like this. You see I'm on fire. I actually have a lot of fire transits. I have a lot of Leo. I have a lot of Sag in my chart. So meow, meow, everyone. But anyway, so we have, so these kinds of transits, fire transits do me well. The last transit that could be triggering for some people is Lilith is moving into Gemini. And so I'm thankful that she's out of Taurus. In Taurus, it can be like brute force kind of stuff, which we've been seeing a lot of like bully energy, because bull, you know, Taurus, it literally can translate to that. I don't know if I'm going to do Lilith and Gemini. Let me know if you want it. I'm trying to veer away from, you know, just have, like, I just feel like it could be just like manifest destiny, talk about it and just bring it on in much more intensity than it needs to be. But in short, Lilith and Gemini, it's just a very cutthroat, very snake tongue sort of energy. You know, say hurtful things to get things done, say whatever to be hurtful and so forth. So be careful with that frequency. Be careful with, you know, just, I would, over the next 10 months while Lilith is in Gemini, just veer on, like, for all of us who are outspoken, I'm definitely an outspoken person. It's a time to manage how we speak out, because you can invite a lot of tit for tat, arguing, saying mean things, going for the jugular sort of stuff. And so just because, mind that energy. So yeah, we'll talk about that now. So I'm excited. Let's do sign by sign reading. I hope you guys are doing well, and yeah. It's been fun. Yeah, I couldn't wait to tell you guys about it. I was looking at my like notes and stuff for the astrology. I'm like, if I should do it now with the new moon and get them on the right start, on the right path, and then watch also your love readings for July to December by sign. They're really good. So by sign, let me tell you how it's going to go. I have 3 dice with numbers on them. Sorry, the white one is really bright, so you'll trust me on it, okay? And then I have 4 dice with different signs, okay? So I'm going to give each sign some signs that would be important for them. I think that the dice are just really helpful in terms of just giving people an idea of which direction to look. And these number dice have really good associations with houses in our chart. If you don't understand houses in the chart, do a Google search and look up houses and look up the numbers. I'll explain as we go, but just for the purpose of brevity, you need to do some Googling if you're not clear on which house is what, or if you're not clear on something, look at it deeper. It's all over the internet. So are you guys ready with our updated list of signs? I'm so excited that I saved Capricorn and Scorpio I saved Virgos too. Virgos, we're the magician now. So hey girl, hey, how about that? Okay. So, and I brought this back because like we have this beautiful background. I'm about to pull it off after I'm done the Aries reading and start moving on to the next series, like the next background. But I wanted to do this background one more time for the weekly, and these cards look beautiful with it, so I'm excited about that. Also, I forgot to mention in the beginning, if you guys don't see me early next week, there's another reason that I did this. I have still some stuff that I'm working through. Hopefully this is the last of it. So if you don't see me, you know, in the early part of next week, I'm just focusing on getting my stuff done. So if you really need some boost with information about astrology or tarot or whatever, I'm going to have messages coming through on Twitter that will update you guys on what's going on. So if you're feeling out of sorts or ungrounded, then go over onto Twitter and I'll still keep that going, okay? So, and then I'll be back next week too, so it's all good. Okay, so first sign we're talking to. So do you guys know which sign this is? So Pisces, I updated you guys from the moon to the Wheel of Fortune because that's Jupiter. So I thought you guys would like that. So first of all, let's take a look at your houses, the important houses for Pisces. And I'm not looking at astrology very much. We talked about astrology a lot today, so that's enough. So first house is important because there's 2 first house. Again, the white die is just 1, 1. So first house, the self is important. Jupiter is in Pisces for the second to last week, it moves into Aquarius, into your 12th house on the 28th. So it's doing a lot of things for your personality. And the 10th house, career-minded, out in the world, all of that stuff. Let's take a look at Pisces, your frequency. So we have the Last Judgment, the Awakening, okay? And then we have the Path, which is Chariot, Cancer, okay? And then we have the 10 of Stars, 10 of Wands, okay? So you're taking on something big, Pisces, and if it feels like career, it's funny that I switched up your card because to me, the Wheel of Fortune often has to do with success in the world, right? 10, 10, success in the world is coming your way. 10, 10, 20, the Last Judgment is number 20. So we have continuity there. Some of you possibly have made a big decision about work and about which direction you're going to go. I think a lot's ahead of you. You're going to have to put a lot of work to get there, but I think you'll find success when you do. I think you're overcoming a lot of personal boundaries that hold you back from being able to achieve those things and get in that direction. So, you know, like hang-ups, or if you're shy, or all sorts of different things. Those things that that held you back from pursuing this direction, you're now overcoming. What card is this? The Star. Oh my goodness, you guys are getting lucky cards. And then we have the Release, the Death card, Scorpio. The Star is Aquarius also, not always, just, and the Ace of Swords. So Pisces, a big change, a big release. There's a split-second shift that's going on for you this week, that's dislodging you from your past reality. It's like an offer or something that's coming through that will shift everything very quickly. It could come as a letter or communication. It's very faded, and the moment you receive it, things will change. So it's like you're at a job, you're not necessarily quitting, but finally you get another job offer, right? You quit your job right there and then, and you're like, sayonara, I'm going towards my destiny. I don't condone walking out on the job. It's never a good fit, but I think that you've been waiting on something for a while, Pisces, and I think you're about to get it. Okay, so let's see what signs are most compatible or significant for Pisces this week. We have Leo. Let's see. Leo. Well, you'll trust me. Leo, we have Aquarius. Okay. And then we have Sagittarius. Ooh, Pisces and Sag. Sag is feeling very inspirational at this time, so that's complimentary. And Capricorn, as always. I feel like Capricorns will have your back in terms of career at this time, Pisces. Like, if you need to take a step in a certain direction, a Capricorn will help you along the way. So, yeah, just, it's good. Make a big decision this week, Pisces, and you'll be very successful. The world is your oyster, and so congratulations, beautiful frequency. Do you guys want me to have the cards? For the skeptics, right? So let's have the cards to the side here. The World card, okay? So we have Capricorn. Speaking of Capricorn, do you guys like your upgrade? So you went from the Devil, or do you guys like the Devil? Let me know. So the World card is ruled by Saturn, which also rules the sign of Capricorn. So it's a much more hopeful and positive energy. So I hope you like that. Let's see what houses are impactful for you this week, Capricorn. Okay, money houses. Okay, so we have 2. This white die, after Capricorn, I'm going to try to find a darker die quickly. And then we have the 8th house. So that's a polarity. The 2nd and the 8th house are opposite each other, and the 10th house, career. Big news for Capricorn, right? Out in the world, hopefully this is a good sign of success. Very, very good frequency. Money. 2nd house is money. 8th house is shared resources with other people. And 10th house is where you are in the world, including career things, okay? 2 of hearts, 2 of cups. Something, I think that what I'm getting from this for you, Capricorn, is that like your heart is connecting with people around you who recognize in you the love that you have. And they recognize in you the love that you have, and like the passion you have for what you do is naturally attracting people who are complementary to you. The next message is the 9 of Swords. That's Mars in Gemini. Remember, Lilith in Gemini is a similar frequency to Mars in Gemini, except on the feminine side of things. And Mars in Gemini tends to be more kind than Lilith in Gemini, just in case anybody's wondering. Lilith in Gemini is just like the shadow side of Mars in Gemini. Mars in Gemini has a lot of good qualities in it, especially like righteousness, truth, and justice. Those kinds of things align well with that frequency. Then we have the Acceptance Sagittarius. I just feel like people have seen you through very hard things, Capricorn. I feel like I almost said Gemini. So I feel as though people have seen you through difficult things, especially in terms of your job and career. Like they saw you go through losses and they saw you struggle, and always come out in the most genuine way. Always come through with like good energy and good frequency. And I think that you're getting something out of that. So because the people in your environment, the 10th house, that's not friends, that's just people like people in your bubble, people in your world. They've seen that, and I think they're sort of because of your genuine, heartfelt agency, the way you act is so genuine, you're bringing people like into your life, and they see your vision, they align with your vision, they align with your frequency. King of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries, secondary transits in fire as well. Then we have the Force. May the Force be with you, Luke. Okay, that's Leo's card right there. And the Two of Trees. Somebody's making offers to you, Capricorn. I feel like very passionate time. If you're in a relationship or if you're around someone else, there's great passion between you and that person at this time. We don't talk enough about how lusty Capricorns are. Capricorns are incredibly passionate people, sun, moon, and rising. Very, very passionate people that, in truth, right? Like they won't be passionate with people like Joe Blow down the street that's wasting time, but like when they have respect for someone, when they really tap in to their frequency, probably one of the most passionate signs out there. So we have the King of Stars, the Force. You could be around a Leo, that's very important, but also for all of you in relationships, I see a lot of passion this week between you and your partner. So passionate, yeah. And I feel like it's like you against the world with them. It feels like you're against the world. Like, it's not that you're against the world, like the world's so bad. But I think with the Two of Trees, what we're seeing is like no matter what you and your partner, or you, if you're single, are facing, there's this just confidence behind your action, this passion. And if you're single, it's very likely that somebody is giving you very good energy at this time. If you're single, there's someone who's admiring you, who's like, like they're a fan. They get it. Like they're connected to your heart space. They're connected to your love center, and they're just like, yeah, it's just a very, very good energy, right? Okay, so here is the dice roll. Oh, Aquarian through the roof. We have 2 Aquarian frequencies. So let's just honor that if there's a couple dice that are a particular sign, it just tells us that Aquarian frequency is very high. I love Capricorns with Aquarians, and the cusp of Aquarian Capricorn, I say this all the time, I love it. And then we have Capricorn and Sag, important, sun, moon, rising. It's supposed to be a sign, so in your day you see these signs like, oh, Veroosh said this. And then Pisces, okay, heartfelt, genuine. Pisces is one of the signs of the heart. Okay, so Capricorn, I hope you guys have a nice week. I'm looking for a dice for the houses that's a little bit darker. Let's see if I have an alternate number. I do. I have a really nice blue one. Look at this. Okay, so we'll take this back. I love these white ones, but they are a little bit bright for today. Okay. Good. We're good. It's on like Donkey Kong, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and I can take a break. This frequency is through the roof. Very good energy for this new moon. And I hope you feel it too. And if you've had a bad week, let's acknowledge that for everybody who's watching. If you've had a bad week, if you've been in fights, or if there's been outbursts, throughout July there will be outbursts, right? But I think the overwhelming energy is very positive. So like don't be afraid. And like, I'm not a timid person. I asked you guys on Twitter, like, am I yin, am I yang, or am I neutral? Like, I got the yang. Like, everybody, I'm not a timid person, but I recognize some people, and I'm timid in some situations, extremely timid. But the point is that to all you timid people out there who aren't necessarily like, like this, you can still assert yourself in your own ways and like go after these frequencies. So whatever that reason is, like, just do it. Just do it. Okay, so next we have Sagittarius. You guys get to keep your card, because who doesn't want to be an angel Sag, right? Sag energy is really good right now. I just posted your guys' love reading. It's very nice. Very nice. I do Borat whenever I reclaim the Eastern European accent. Very nice. Okay, so let's see your frequency. Okay, first let's see houses. I'm getting used to using the dice. How do you guys like the dice? I like them. I feel they're organic. Okay. Oh my gosh. Do you guys know what you got? Angel or devil? Maybe we should give you guys Mr. Devil. Biese. Biese. Biese, if you don't know, means devils in Polish. They're like a specific type of devil that's similar to the Fae, but it's an Eastern European tradition. They're like ancient woodland creature devil things. Are awesome. So what we have is 666. It's all about the 6th house, baby. I don't know if that's a sign. Now, if you're freaking out, the 666, let me tell you this, okay? In Chinese tradition, 666 is extremely lucky. So don't get freaked out that we have some crazy frequency here. Also, really pay attention to the 6th house, because the 6th house has a lot to do with like your activities, like what you do on a day-to-day basis. But also be very careful of overspending at this time, because you could, like anxiously spend money and like get yourself in a bit of a pickle. So, but in Vancouver, there are nowhere in the world you'll find buildings that are 666, at least not in Europe or North America. But Vancouver has a high population of Chinese Canadians, and so there are buildings that are like 888 and 66. I actually worked at a 666 building before, and it's for prosperity. Their numerology is like lit, and so it's for prosperity and success. And when I worked at that company, when I worked in that building, looking back on it, it's really where I got successful. So don't look at it as a negative or something like bad or scary. I think you're on your way to success. And I don't see your chart, but just from memory, isn't it true that you have some big financial transits coming up? I just told you guys about this like yesterday in your individual zodiac reading, so you'll have to remind me. People are like, do you remember when you said this? I'm like, that was 5 readings ago. Like, I'm channeling. Just, you want my head to explode? Okay, so no, I don't remember. Okay, so we have the sometimes I remember 4 of trees, Sun in Capricorn, Ace of Hearts. Okay, I'm gonna calm it down. I have a lot of Sag. My first house is Sag, so I was like, okay, excited about this energy. So 4 of trees, Ace of Hearts, Ace of Cups. Oh, hold on. New beginning, holding back on something. King of Hearts, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I think you've been holding back on some frequency, Sag, but I think some of you might have something really good around you in terms of a relationship, in terms of a person that's worth connecting with. But I sense that for whatever reason, it has not been coming together so fast. So Four of Pentacles is like putting the brakes on things or being busy in other directions. I do know your sign is going to be very focused on material growth, and the frequency over the next 6 months, which I did in your zodiac reading in your playlist, you know, it was all about you setting off and saying goodbye to some people so that you could achieve what you need to. You're on that journey again, you know? And so there's a lot of your attention that's being directed to financial strength and getting what you need and all of that stuff. And so, yeah, there's the Four of Pentacles, like work hard for what you've got. And so it's going to take a lot to get your attention. I wouldn't be surprised if you have someone around you who is trying to make themselves a part of your life, the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups, but you're even not recognizing it because you're so drawn into another direction. Your attention is drawn in to another direction. Okay, so we have the Acceptance card, which is Sagittarius. That's your card. And then Harmony is a sub heading. And then we have Mercury in Sagittarius, the Eight of... I think that if somebody has a crush on you, they're trying to reach you. Somebody is trying to, like, get through to you. They're trying to tell you they love you. They're trying to tell you, like, make their point. And I feel like you'll see a huge increase with that. When Venus and Mars, and I don't mean to get into the astrology so much here, but like that's trining your position. So that very lucky transit of Venus-Mars conjunction is a trine to your placements. So if you're in between like 12 degrees to 22 degrees of Sag, if you have placements there, you know, that conjunction is a direct trine, and it's happening in your 5th house of romance. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get sort of suddenly whisked away, you know. Then we have the next message, which is the Five of Hearts. This person is somebody, I really feel like you're, it's not that you're doing something wrong, but I think that somebody wants you to recognize how they feel. Somebody wants you to see them, and I think that you're not seeing them. You're not seeing their effort towards you. They don't have to be a water sign. They may be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but not necessarily. The King of Hearts is a person, male or female, who is really ready to show you love, is really ready to like step it up. They're serious. It's not like a beat around the bush sort of energy. If it's not romantic, then someone really wants to connect with you, and I feel insistence, I feel persistence, I feel like a desire to be seen, a desire to connect. And for whatever reason, this person is feeling hurt around you by reaching out. They keep on trying. I think you're very focused on what you're doing. And so pay attention, because someone around you loves you a lot, and they keep on trying to make that connection, be seen, be heard, and they're having their Five of Cups. Now, let's recognize that, you know, you're not the mother of them. You're not responsible for their feelings and so forth. So it could also be a Five of Cups attached to their own issues with rejection or abandonment, right? Like, so they could be projecting that on their own. But this is a person who's quite sensitive about, you know, maybe it's really hard to put your heart on the display for someone, to really show someone you love them, to tell them you love them and so forth. It's a vulnerable place. So whatever, it's not bad. It's just the message is very clear. When someone really wants to be seen by you, Sagittarius, they want you to see them, hear them, feel them. And I feel like you're very focused on your goals, which is all good and well. But I think that like there's going to be a light bulb moment this week when you're like, oh, okay, this isn't just a friend. This person isn't just buying me coffee every day because you know, they're a nice person. There's more there. This could also be within a relationship. So your partner could be, you know, wanting you to hear what they're about. Okay. So let's see what signs are important for you to watch out for. We have 4 different signs. We have Cancer. Okay, so Cancer is important for you, Sag. We have Taurus. Taurus. And then we have Libra. Libra. And Scorpio energy. So Cancer and Scorpio align with the water frequencies, but it doesn't have to be a Scorpio, and it doesn't have to be their sun, moon, or rising. It could be some other. You'll get the message. It'll communicate itself to you. But I think, yeah, somebody is putting a big effort towards you, Sag, for you to pay attention. Somebody, you know, and the 666, let's honor the fact, like Western society, you know, whatever our conceptualizations of this, make sure that you're not being, like, one of the things that Mr. Devil Biese does, the devil does, is confuses us, you know, in what we're doing. Gaslighting is like Mr. Devil's middle name, right? So make sure that, like, circumstances around you are not stopping you from, look, I'm even placing these cards with the separation. So be really attentive to your environment, because you might have something in front of you, love in front of you. They want you to see them in front of you, all of that frequency, and things may be stopping you from seeing them. And so, yeah, just make sure that you're not missing the point on someone who's trying to get you to know that they love you, Sag. Very nice frequency. Okay, so next message. We have Virgo. Virgos, we are now the Magician. Mercury ruled. Sorry, Gemini. You guys have lovers, though. Like, I think everybody else wants lovers. So you guys can keep your lovers. We'll take the Magician. Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury. That's the ruler of the Magician card. So that's the logic. Anyway, Virgos. Okay, so, interesting. Okay. So 5th house, a lot. I like 5th house. 5th house is the fun house. And then we have the 8th house. Okay. And the 8th and the 11th, I feel like, are really, really connected. A profound connection between yourself and people around you. For some Virgos, there's a windfall coming for you this week. Necessary change is happening around you, Virgo. The 8th house is all about change. And the 11th house is not only friends and social connections, but also like windfall and fortune. So those things are here for you now. Success, trust your passions, Virgo. The 5th house, go have some fun. But be genuine in this frequency. It's a very, like, I was going to say emotional, but 5, 8, and 11, it just makes me feel like you're in for a change, Virgo, in a positive way. And I feel like you're being taken out of your own way, out of, like, the mutable. Things are changing, okay? So let's see your next message. We have the 10 of Rods. I like this. Hard work. I feel like maybe you've gotten caught up in work or redundancy. And then we have the 9 of Angels, which is Mars in Gemini. I think, like, work is good, but when it starts to hurt you, Virgo, then this is like a reminder, like, to pull yourself out of that rut. And Page of Hearts, something's coming in with a full heart. That's that 5th house frequency that I was telling you about. So somebody's waking up your heart. It's like, you know, wake up, Virgo, like, love's coming in, or wake up, Virgo, it's time to have a little bit of fun. Like, don't get too serious now. With readings and stuff, tarot, I get so serious when I do astrology and tarot. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like, this is tarot and astrology. We're supposed to have fun. This is supposed to be, like, this isn't like academia. Like, this is good vibes energy. So this is reminding you, Virgo, like, take it with, like, a grain of salt. take it with a grain of sugar. Like, have a little bit of happiness. And Mercury in Sag with the 8 of stars, 8 of wands coming in. And then we have the turnaround, which is the Hanged Man, Neptune energy. Some things are bigger than us. Just to remind you, Sun and Neptune are at a trine. And then, shoot, I forgot in the astrology, Chiron retrograde. That happens on the 15th. I talked about it in the July reading. It's all good. And the new moon reading. Oh, good, Virgo, you have the sun. I was like, I hate it. It's like, I noticed that I forgot something. I don't know what it is. but it's live, and I got to keep doing what I'm doing, right? Yeah, Chiron's going retrograde on the 15th. I guess it pays off to sit and chat and watch the whole video, because little bits and pieces come into my mind halfway through. It's like, oh, that's important. Chiron retrograde is good. I think Chiron retrograde is aspecting the North Node really well. I'll talk about it at the end if I remember, but let's just do it now because I'll forget. So Chiron's aspecting North Node really well. So a lot of things like to do with like, where are you in life and what's going on, and then like sort of forgiving yourself for it and taking a step back and allowing to like renegotiate your dialogue with yourself so that you can step forward and feel more empowered to say, yeah, this is my place. This is where I need to be, and this is who I am. And like, it's a self-confidence transit at this point with the sextile to the North Node. But anyway, so Virgos, back on track. Some things take a while for them to brew. Some things take a while for them to come together and to sort of like hash out. So the 8 of stars with the turnaround, it's so nice. Like there's actually 3 trees. So something you've been putting a lot of work into, Virgo, the 10 of wands. I love these cards. They're so beautiful. And then we have the 2 trees. And this looks like the shadow of this, doesn't it? It looks like the antimatter to this matter. So things are coming into harmony. Things are fusing for you, Virgo. You've put the action into you've put the action in the effort into something, and now sit patiently. In the astrology, I talked a lot about patience. Put patience into your circumstances. And then there's this, like, a lot, you'll see around yourself a lot more encouraging signs, a lot of encouraging signs of the direction you're going and the things that are happening around you. So maybe because of the effort you've put into things, suddenly there is a lot more positive frequency. This Neptune, it's like a cocoon chrysalis, right? You have to in some way allow something to transform. And so that's a huge frequency for you this week as well. The outcome is the sun, happiness, joy, transcendence, light. And then there's this really sweet frequency around you, Virgo, a person who's around you, possibly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, possibly an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, is just reminding you of happiness and reminding you of joy. The Page of Hearts often reminds me of pets and animals too. So it might be your familiar, it might be like a cat or a dog or a bird. There's something that's reaching your heart and waking it up. So it's good. It's from a period of seriousness that you got stuck in, Virgo, and you got once again stuck in your head, focused on something. It got too serious, and then it started turning like intense, and it's like, no, take a step back. Something's reminding you to kind of wake up a little bit, Virgo. So let's see what signs are important for you at this time. So we have Virgo. So Virgo is important for other Virgos. I said this to someone, I think I said it in private. When I did your guys' reading for July to December, it's linked in the description in the Abundant Love playlist. I had I said it in the reading, actually. I don't remember where I said it, but I said it. I think Virgos with Virgos will be very complementary over the next 6 months. So I think Virgos will come together. It's almost like the hermit coming together with another hermit and talking about where they've been. I think that's a really strong frequency. Maybe not for love necessarily. Some of you, yes, but definitely for like rehashing lessons and wisdom. Cancer, and then we have Libra as the next, and then we have Leo. So we start off right now with a Leo moon tomorrow, moves through Virgo in the Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday morning, then Libra on Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, and there you go. So, and we have a Cancer new moon. So all your frequencies are there. It's a good alignment for Virgo. Pedal to the metal, Virgo. You just go and live like full of passion and vibrancy, passion and all these good things. Okay, Judgment. So if you haven't watched the intro, I switched up my cards because I'm tired of telling Scorpios that they're the death card. I mean, you can own it. It's a beautiful card, but I've actually acknowledged that your ruler is Pluto, and I've given you the Judgment card just for the purpose of keeping order. I just feel like I have placements in Scorpio, and I love the Judgment card a lot. I feel like it's my favorite card in the tarot, and you're one of my favorite signs, as you know. But this is like all about making choices, big decisions, a serious attitude, a serious way of looking at things. Just profoundness comes with this card. Looking back at the past and picking out the most important things, understanding the deeper truths of things. Let's take a look at what houses are very important for you this week. So we have double 8, which is your house. The 8th house is the Scorpio house. Change and transformation. I've sensed something big is coming up for Scorpios this week. And then we have the 9th house. So transformation leading to expansion. 9th house is the house of, Sagittarius, growth, travel, expansion. In your July through December reading, I really felt like you were going somewhere. There's like you were off somewhere else. You were going places over the next 6 months. It's big and it's exciting. It'll be different for every single one of you. Let's see your cards. We have the High Priestess energy, High Priestess. And then we have the Queen of Hearts. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, secondary transits and water. This is the most watery, water on water. This is as watery as you get. Queen of Cups. This can be a man or a female, right? And then we have the 10 of Angels, 10 of Swords, which is Sun in Gemini. I have a feeling that you have profound insight through this transit. You're getting profound visions of things, of the meaning of things. I could feel it like right from the Judgment card. I'm like, whoa, they're like, Scorpios, you guys are seeing powerful things. This is a powerful week for you guys. I'm just so touched by this. I'm feeling it, like in the empathic side of things. The moon's going to move into Scorpio just so I can get collected. Moon is moving into Scorpio on the 17th and 18th. Your ruler, Pluto, is opposing the sun. I think that you're going to have massive epiphanies and insights. I think you're going to think quite heavily about people in your life, and you will see things about those relationships and about yourself in those relationships and the meaning of it all on a level that other people don't see. You're just really going to connect profoundly. I just feel like I could see, just shook, like shook to the ground, and incredibly profound understanding, incredibly deep feelings and resonance. If you have a water sign person around you, they're very significant. It's a catalyst energy between you and theirs, which means that when two psychics get together, many of you guys who are psychics who watch me, this happens when we get consults and stuff. It's like intuition with intuition, and it just builds off of each other. It gets massive. And in that, you look at something this is the Judgment card. This is personification. You look at something that's sort of maybe even finished, and then you feel within it just profound life, you know? This is something that reminds me of this. So recently, I love science. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a big science fan. The only reason I'm not a scientist is I didn't finish physics in high school because I had a mean teacher. But I did calculus up to university, and like I love science, biology. I love physics. I've been studying physics since that time, but just as a, like a lay person. And I studied statistics in school, so I'm quite a scientific minded person. Anyway, so in this week, or maybe I don't know when this happened, but I found out about this week, or there was some article out there about it. They found, I don't want to gaslight or like misrepresent something. So I don't think they found life on Venus, but they found microbes or like signs that like life could exist on Venus, and it's not so dead after all. Like, I'm not saying there's life on Venus. That's getting ahead of ourselves. Venus orbits really slow, almost tidally locked, very slow, like not orbit, but like the spin is slow. And so Venus is also extremely hot, for those of you guys who didn't know for whatever reason. And so they've always assumed Venus is a dead planet, and now they're finding things on Venus that indicate life in a different way. Like, I'm not saying there's life on Venus, but I'm saying that like there's more of a chance that life existed longer or in a different capacity, or there's something there that's organic. Okay? And so this reminds me of this frequency a lot, where you're looking at something that could be a write-off or dead, and you're finding truth in it. That doesn't mean that it's beginning for you again, Scorpio, but I think that maybe you're feeling a resonance and a lesson or insight. It's profound, and it's going to be very helpful to you. So, and then also in a connection with someone else, you might reach a very high point in your interaction with each other, and in that high point you will attain understanding of like a life truth epiphany. Very, very powerful frequency. I love it. Then we have the Three of Trees. I just think you're getting like super smart Scorpio. You know, when Scorpios can be, that's why I like smart people. And so Scorpios are super smart, and when you reach that all signs are really smart, but I just like the Scorpio intelligence. Scorpio intelligence comes in through emotion and feeling. And when you catch that wave, and when it really aligns with insight, the 9th house, right? Change, 8th house is death, and then insight. So profound enlightenment. This, you know, when they say ego death, this is another thing that's going on here. I'm not saying you're going to go through like a dark night of the soul or something, but I think you're having a profound moment of enlightenment, Scorpio. And I think it's, teacher. The teacher, this is the Hierophant or Taurus card. Just, oh, look, the Last Judge. I'm getting goosebumps, you guys. This is lit. This is Pluto, and this is one of my favorite cards in tarot, this specific one. It's so beautiful. This is the Awakening, which is the Last Judgment. It's the same card as this. I just feel as though transcendent. Listen, Scorpio, if you have the capacity to take some time off to yourself so as not to interfere with whatever's going off, do that this week as much as you can. I didn't mention this earlier, but I had this vision for you guys. Like you sitting on a cliff watching the sky and the ocean or the trees. Like you being in touch with some primordial thing that is going to give you a great insight on things. Okay? So it just feels very, very powerful. This can also mean that you're having like a very, very fundamental connection with another person. It could be another water sign. This is when everything falls apart. and you're looking at that person and that's all that matters, and then you have your transcendent moment, you might have one of those. Tauruses are very important in your life at this time too. Okay, so let's see your beautiful message. This is the best one of the day, you guys. So we have Leo. Sorry about this white die. It's a good idea. It's a beautiful die. It's actually my favorite die, but it just, let me show you if you can see it up close. If you haven't been watching the whole video, I've been struggling with this white die because, or dice, I'm not sure how to say it, but okay. See, look how beautiful they are, but in terms of picking up on the camera, they're hard to see. So we have Sagittarius is important for you this week, Scorpio. Okay. I'm surprised there is no water signs in this. Libra, I could have sworn, or Gemini energy. It's a real moment of truth. And the awakening is also making your mind up about something or making a final decision. Humbled and transcendent. A powerful moment of change for you. A powerful moment of going after exactly what you want, coming to truth with what you want and facing that truth and saying, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to get. You know, it could be at the face of accepting something, accepting 8-8, accepting the end of something, you know, transition. But then like once you're free of something, then you can go in this new direction. Okay, next card. So I switched this up. For Taurus. So Taurus is the Hierophant. But I just like old man sitting on a box. No thanks. So I'll give you guys Venus, the Empress, which I love, and that's much more of a Taurus energy. So Taurus's reading was really good for July through December. So if you've missed that, then go check that out. I think you guys were most happy with it. Like I got most comments that were like this is what I want, and I don't do them to appease anybody. I do them based on what I see and feel and perceive. But the Taurus reading was the one where you guys were like, this is amazing. I think that's the reading got 4 8s, which is very lucky. Okay, let's roll your dice and see what kind of houses we're looking at here. So we have the 6th house twice. 6th house. 6th house is a lot of work. So expect a busy week, Taurus. And then we have the 7th house partnership. Well, there you go. Lilith is leaving Taurus this week on Sunday. So on Sunday the 18th, because I'm reading before the weekend. So we are doing really a week and a half because I didn't do last week's reading. So I'm kind of making it up for you. But yeah, Lilith is leaving Taurus and she won't be back for 10 years. Hooray! It's our little party. Let's party. 1, 2, 3. Party time. Okay, Taurus. Let's rock and roll. So we have 6, 6, 7. Someone who you see often could transform into a more serious person in your life this week. That's a nice frequency. Oh, cards just like that. Holy, they just went like this. Okay, so we have Knight of Pentacles, a goal that you're trying to achieve. I see you guys working really hard towards an outcome that you want. And then we have the 6 of Hearts, Scorpio. I just told Scorpios to pay attention to Taurus, so I'll tell you guys the same. Taurus, Scorpio energy really connected. And through the next 6 months, your energy will connect even more because the nodes are switching to Taurus and Scorpio in December. So if you don't know many Scorpios at this time, they become more important and vice versa. King of Stars, King of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Okay. I have a feeling that you're making a powerful connection with someone who can make a huge influence in your life. In terms of relationships, I feel like somebody loves the fact that you're determined towards work or a certain direction. Someone's drawn in towards you. I feel like it's a magnet energy. They're like, wow, Taurus, who's this? Who is this? You know? And then we have the sun in Scorpio. And so with the sun in Scorpio, this is the soulmate card. I love this. These cards are so romantic and beautiful, right? So I feel like it's a powerful understanding between two people. Definitely can be romantic. 7th house partnership. It could be like, I trust you, you know? I trust you sort of energy. people trusting each other, being on the same page and so forth. And then we have Scorpio. There we go, the release. So change and transformation. King of Angels, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Somebody could be, one person or the other could be getting over a very serious relationship with a controlling person. The King of Swords. So somebody, they could be dealing with someone who had an immense control in their life. They could have been also dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. When I say those things, they're separate, right? Like the sign associated with the card is one thing. I'm not saying that about the air signs, but the King of Swords can also mean controlling. I get more controlling than the sign, but just in case you're watching, it's not necessarily implying that the Gemini that you were dating was controlling if they were not, right? So it could be an air sign. It could be a controlling person. Somebody, there's a connection there while something else is being put to rest. For mostly, I feel as though the situation is over. However, for some of you, this situation is actually still sort of, how do you say it? It's still sort of fizzling out. There could be, if it's a divorce, it could be a separation leading to a divorce sort of thing. So there could be some kind of finishing off pieces. And then we have the turnaround, which is Neptune. This is the Hanged Man. There's a delay in a relationship because something needs to finish up, and somebody is caught up in another situation that they're leaving behind. And the situation could have been very controlling. Also, if it's not like directly control, somebody could not be releasing documents or papers. So like they're unwilling to sign, not super willing to sign, so forth. Let's take a look at the signs that are important for you this week. So we have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All of it's legit. And then we have the Aquarius. Let's see. And then we have Aries. The first time Aries came up. Hey, look at you. And Aries, I have to apologize if you're watching. Your video is going to come out. It's not up to me when it comes out at this point. So in the future, they'll all be done before time. But for now, be patient. The video covers July through December. So, and then we have Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn came out twice. I didn't even notice that. So maybe Capricorn Aquarius cusp. Maybe you're dealing with somebody from the cusp of Capricorn Aquarius Taurus. In which case, then I feel like the one thing about that cusp, the Capricorn Aquarian cusp, is that they really like to set the pace of things, And so sometimes to get them to go along with your pace or to finalize, it's almost like I see you standing over someone with a pen and saying like, sign it, like sign this document. So that this person, for whatever reason, and it's not necessarily malicious, they just need their own time with processing something. It doesn't have to be a divorce. It could be like buying something or something like that, in which you're waiting for somebody and it's taking time. Just expect some delays. And with the Sun opposite Pluto in Capricorn Taurus in an earth sign, make sure that you're cool, calm, and collected, and with Lilith in the last minutes of your sign, make sure you're not upset by this frequency. So if somebody is taking their sweet freaking time and can't get over something, and you're just reeling to be connected with someone, or you're super excited about something, don't get upset. Don't just be patient. Use your patience at this time. Okay. So next sign is we have Emperor Aries. So now I can tell Aries. I was just saying my apology. Aries, your new moon, July through December love reading. It's a forecast for the last 6 months of the year. I did this reading instead of filming yours because it has to wait anyway to clear something in the back end. And it's like a small change that has happened, I believe, with YouTube. And it's fine. It's not a problem. But I was sort of caught me off guard. So your video will come out probably tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. Maybe today. And so, yeah. So go check it out. It'll be in the playlist called Abundant Love Playlist. And so go watch it when you can. But if it's not there, that means it's still being processed. Okay? So let's see what's going on. And I did this reading today because I wanted you to see it. So I wanted you to have some message for the new moon and perspective for the week. Okay, so now let's see your houses. Oh, 7th house. Okay, so you're lucky. You have very good houses. So you have the 7th house. You have the 10th house. Oh, lucky Aries. Like not... I don't know. I just feel like Aries is very, very lucky at this time. Very lucky in work, in just good things coming around you. The spotlight's on you. Like all the frequencies that you like are around you at this time. Chiron's going retrograde in Aries, so you get a break from self-consciousness and worries and so forth. So I think like good energy with you. Some cards fell out. We have the Page of Stars, the Page of Angels, and the Two of Trees. So 2 people are working things out. 2 people who want different things, have different ideas about things, but they like each other and they want to work together. So if you're trying to work together with someone and it's taking a little bit of time, that's okay. Yeah, there could be some like implicit conflict of interest just because you're 2 different people. But I think that you'll figure out a common ground very soon and it'll work out for the better. The main thing about those cards that just fell out was that I really felt as though both people really wanted the connection for whatever, work connection, school connection. They like each other. So if you feel discouraged that like it's frustrating a little bit at some point, don't get discouraged. Okay. So we have first card, Aries, is the Scorpio card, the release. Okay, so this is the death card, Metamorphosis. Ooh, 2 of Hearts. So this is Venus in Cancer. I feel like things are starting to move for you in a good direction, 3 of Hearts. So if there's been a separation between you and someone else, I feel like maybe you're definitely coming from a place where things were sort of turned off emotionally. And I'm not saying you were turned off emotionally, just things were not flowing as in the emotional side of things as much as you'd like or as you were wishing. And I think that finally you're getting it. I think that this is a big week for being from the heart, with Chiron going retrograde on the 15th. And it's sextiling the North Node with Aldebaran. I feel like the pressures and like the I can't do this because sort of talk gets really quieter at this time. So people are more likely to share their heart. And there's huge water transits. There's Mercury in Cancer, and there's the new moon in Cancer. There's Sun in Cancer. There's a lot of grand trine in between Jupiter and Mercury and the moon on Saturday. So there's a lot of like outpouring of emotions that's coming out at this time throughout the week. And so you will feel as though you can like say something, say it more passionately. And finally the roadblocks to telling someone how you feel about them are somewhat removed. Okay, so then we have the King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And then we have the Empress, Venus. And I'm using this for Taurus at this point now. And then we have the Two of Wands. Profound you could reach a level of understanding with someone at this time in which you tell each other how you feel after a delay or roadblocks to that. But also 7th house, 10th house, 7th house is partnership, which is their people coming together and having that conversation, and between the two of them seeing a path forward. But the 10th and the 11th house is like you're very well received by people at this time. Like you're just like people like you. Like things that people say about Aries sometimes that are critical, or like that you're like egocentric, or like, you know, the stereotypes about the sign. I'm not saying you're that way. I'm just saying that like the stereotype is that you're like egocentric, like the attention and all those kinds of things. But I think at this time, people like that about you. So all those things that you get sort of judged for are working in your favor now. So you're very well received by others. And I just feel like you're just getting new perspective and new hope in your life, you know. Let's take a look at what signs are important for you to pay attention to this week. We have Gemini, and we have Aquarius twice in Scorpio. So we have Gemini, let's see. And then we have Aquarius twice. So Aquarians are very important for you. And then Scorpio, very, very interesting energy. I noticed at the beginning of the reading where I had just a couple dice laid down, Scorpio and Aries were like up. And I noticed that. I was like, oh, that's a neat combination. That's a weird combination. So you might be dealing with somebody who's like very in their feelings too with the Scorpio energy. This is more of an intuitive thing. I feel like the Scorpio energy, like there's a brooding person, like a person who's brooding around you, like in their feelings, and you're kind of up and you're happy, and like there's someone around you who's not necessarily negative or down, but they're like much more serious, and you're like, oh, it's such a difference in frequency between you and them. But I feel as though you're really looking towards something, and I think you're reaching understanding with another person. And that's allowing you two to look forward together. If you're single, I could see you like meeting someone and then sort of, or someone who you've just met, having some preliminary ideas that you're going in the right direction. Like some inkling that this is the right direction for the both of you. So, you know, sparks are flying, the wheels are turning, good directions are going. And Three of Hearts are saying, if there was someone in your life and something got stagnant and almost disappeared, I think that there is a very high chance of an emotional reconnection. And it's driven by mutual love and affection. So very nice for you, Aries. Okay, so congratulations. And I'm sorry about your reading. I'm excited to do it, and I'll post it as soon as it gets cleared. So, okay. So next we have the sun. So guess who's the sun? My little buttercups. Meow, meow. So Leo, I've kind of been tired of looking at the strength card. No offense. So the sun is your ruler, and so you guys get the sun card when we do readings for now, until I get bored again. Okay, so let's see your houses to be paying attention to. Oh, you got nice houses, really up in the chart. So we have the 11th house. 11th house is the lucky house. And then we have the 8th house. I can't wait to get 1111. You guys are going to go nuts. I'm going to go nuts. Who's going to get 1111 in the dice? We have the 8th house of change and the 9th house. So definitely a release towards freedom. Sometimes when we release things, and I saw this with other signs, but I didn't mention it. But I feel like shedding things allows us to do the things that are here and now. So sometimes we do things of the past, right? We keep doing things of the past that are no longer relevant because of ulterior motivations, like loyalty and, you know, because we want to be good people. But sometimes moving on, when that ends, sometimes it's like, oh, phew, I get to really be authentic with myself. I used to go, oh, this reminds me of this. I had a friend in college, and she's a nice lady, and she's a great artist. I loved her art. But she and I never quite connected. Like we tried to, but she emotionally, and there came a time, and we were friends, right? But after college, there was a time in which we would hang out together, and like it turned into us going to see a movie and like very quickly going our separate ways. That's the frequency. Like you're going to see a movie with someone out of duty or loyalty or whatever. And then like suddenly there's a reason why you don't have to go see the movie with them anymore. You know, you don't have to participate. So you're being set free. And I like her. I admire her art. I think she's phenomenal as and she's a really nice person. That's where it became hard. So anyway, and it was mutual. It wasn't like you know, I was judging my friend, but it was like, you know, it was just kind of dead in the water. But anyway, so something's dead in the water and you're being set free, and very quickly you're pushed towards like you're being pushed towards some kind of like, I finally get to do what I want, what's authentic. I don't have to do what I don't want. Okay, so we have your card, the Force card, Leo. The card I substituted the Sun for. And then we have the Acceptance, Sagittarius, huge fire energy this week. Okay, let's see. And then we have the Two of Angels, Moon in Libra. Moon will be in Libra on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. And Leo, by the way, tomorrow the moon is in Leo for the weekend. So we're going to have a lot of passion, you know, a lot of this, like you're feeling your best self. A lot of times Leos hold back. That's when moon isn't in Leo. That's when you start looking around and being like, okay, I'll be how they want me to be. But when moon enters into Leo, Leos of all kinds, sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, suddenly become Leos unapologetically. So I think you're getting a lot of this. And with the water transits, with the new moon in Cancer and the Mercury in Cancer, I just feel like there's passion and love. And like if you're an artist, you're painting with big strokes. My friend's not a water sign, by the way. She's an earth sign, a Capricorn. But anyway, so yeah, you're painting with big strokes. Dali was a Leo, you know? They always say Scorpios are the best artists. At least I say that. But Leos, like, you guys have your own stack of amazing artists. So Dali was a Leo. And so, yeah, you have that passion of fire and water around you now. So there's this passion, taking your time. You know, this card, the Art Temperance card, it's called the Art card in the Thoth deck because it's all about creativity and passion, and like you're manifesting something. You're no longer having to like walk the disingenuine line anymore. Like the 8th house is releasing you from the things that you've done that you felt you had to do. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. 3 of Pentacles. It's just like you're going full steam ahead, Leo, in work. And 10 of Hearts. Oh, it's so nice to be a Leo. Okay, so this is like this is Venus in Pisces. So I think that if you align yourself with your passion at this time, Leo, I just feel like your lucky week. Mind you, I should have right away remembered, and I forgot. I'm like, what transit I'm forgetting? Venus and Mars are in Leo, and the conjunction with the moon is tomorrow in Leo, or on the Sunday. So if on Sunday the moon will join, this is one of the major points of the month. So when the moon joins Venus and Mars in Leo on Sunday, and Mercury moves into Cancer, just take some time to be who you want to be. Magic is in... Be around an earth sign who will help you stay grounded. You know, Queen of Pentacles. Be around someone who is a conduit, a physical conduit for what you want. It doesn't have to be an earth sign. For those of you who are creative, who make things, this is a wonderful time for you to create. This is like I used to be a technical writer. Here I am with my stories, and you guys, I'm so sorry, but I used to be a technical writer. That was my first job in marketing. And so when you do technical, I'm a writer. That's one of the major things I've done in my life. And creative writer, like poetry and stuff. And so when I was a technical writer, I stopped all creative writing. And so when technical writing left my life, you know, then 8th house, baby. And then like suddenly the creative side starts coming out, right? Because technical writing will kill. Like, if you are an artist and you do graphic design, your art's like suffers. If you're a musician and you write jingles, then all the music you create suffers. It's just the don't do your passion. Don't do your passion for like a job. And there's, of course, there's wonderful technical writers who are amazing poets and so forth, but I feel like, yeah, you're being released from something that was holding you back, and now it's like time to create, and you will be so happy, Leo. Just follow through. You have this weekend is huge for you. The conjunction between the moon, Venus, and Mars, and then on Tuesday, the exact conjunction between Venus and Mars. And if you have placements in Leo between like 12 degrees to 23 degrees or so, in the hot seat. And if you have Venus and Mars in that position, wow. And it's just like, appreciate the energy, allow it to come through, allow it to kind of radiate through you and really work through you. I forgot to throw the dice. We'll do that now. So let's see what signs are important for you. So we have 2 air signs, a fire sign, and Aquarius, and a water sign. And then we have Gemini, the 2 air signs. Then we have Aries, your buddy. Watch out for Aries in the best way possible. They're coming for you. And then we have the Pisces energy. Compassion. They'll understand your passion. And I love me a fiery Pisces. Fiery Pisces are so good. That's people who have Pisces transits with a lot of Leo. So good for you, Leo. Okay, good luck. Next sign. I think we're at the end. 4 more signs to go. Gemini. Hi, Geminis. Okay, so I left you as the Lovers. I hope you don't mind. It's a really nice card. So I wouldn't trade it if I was a Gemini. So let's see your houses. We have the 8th house. A lot of people are getting 8th house. A lot of change with the new moon transition. 2nd house, that's a polarity of the 8th house. So my money versus our money kind of stuff. And then the 7th house, partnership. So money, partnership, assets between yourself and someone else. Thinking about like where you stand with others, releasing certain things. I think a lot of you are pulling more, have a bank account under their name is staggering. It's like, and especially like even into the 90s and 2000s, it was like a relevant thing that there was this, like, so many women within relationships had everything signed over to their husband. So when there was a separation or divorce, they were destitute. They were just so in a bad position. Hopefully that's changing now. But even very recently, the 90s or 2000s, people were essentially tied to their husbands financially. So this does not mean you're breaking up with your husband if you're married, but it could mean this kind of, I'm going to have more for myself, you know? I'm going to make sure that I'm okay. And a little bit more of a, you know, personal boundaries sort of issue. It's not that you love them any less. It's just that you take care of yourself. And then we have this card, the beginning, the Fool, Uranus, the first time this came up today. So I was going to say, what was I trying? I thought this was the Leo card. My mistake. And then we have Retreat, Virgo. And I don't want to, this is not, it's called Ayers Rock, but that's a colonial name. And then this is Uluru, I believe is the proper name of this. This is the monument or the rock. It's a ceremonial spiritual place in Australia, in the center of Australia, with this mound, this massive mound. And so it's very, very connected to indigenous culture. And thank you to those of you who corrected me when I called it Ayers Rock last time. I just didn't know the proper name, but it's Uluru Rock. So we have Virgo, and then we have the 5 of Wands. So I have a feeling like there's like worried to stand on your own 2 feet, Gemini, but it's a good thing you're doing. 100% this is a good thing. The 7th house, it's a renegotiation of the boundaries of your relationship and how much you have together, what's yours and what's mine kind of thoughts. And then we have the Four of Angels, Four of Swords, rest. I just think you can't rest if your partner has everything, even if you love them to death. It's like things happen in life, and so I feel like there's a big energy for you to protect yourself. Remember, you guys have the best transit probably right now. The North Node with Aldebaran will be conjunct in Gemini on the 15th exact, the true North Node. So this is like in Gemini, it's not like emotional or spiritual. It's like the straight facts. The straight facts is you need more on your own terms. And if it's not within a relationship, it is you pulling towards your own terms to protect yourself. And then we have the Four of Wands, of possibilities. I'm not saying you're under threat, but I think you're making some wise moves to make sure yours is yours. Some of you could be buying a home, so much to have no more anyone interjecting into your space. I think this is like laying down, like the putting your foot down. This is what I want. This is how it's going to be. King of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries around you. And I think your partner's even supportive of it. I don't think this is a conflict situation. I think this is you. And if you're single, then also you're putting in from past experience. Something has given you this insight beyond the astrology. You just understand that you have to take care of yourself. You have to put energy into your foundation because you were left vulnerable in some way, financially especially, by the way you were structuring things around you. So this is more of a like, I'm going to make sure that I'm good in this situation for the future. I don't think you're in danger. I think this is you thinking very critically and saying like, I'm going to buy this property. I'm going to make sure that I'm good for myself. You're a little bit nervous to put yourself out there like that, to take a step away from the comforts of the group or the partnership or like the protective nest. But I think that you can live with your money not being yours to the extent that you need it to be. I think that you were always nervous because at the end of the day, you can't control somebody else's will and decision making at the end of the day. Even if they're the best person in the world, something may change, and so I feel like this is a powerful step, Gemini. Okay, so here are the signs that are important for you this week. We have Taurus, and then we have Virgo. Can you guys tell me if these dice are helpful to you? Do they help you for like gaining like perspective on your week? Then we have Sagittarius, and then we have Capricorn. Okay, so Gemini, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, all earth signs, and Sag, the fire sign. Very powerful week. I feel like this is like Sagittarian independence that you're working through. Good for you, Okay, so let's see the next sign. Then we have Justice, Libra. Best wishes to you, Libra. I have a feeling that there's some health stuff that's been going on. As you guys know, I don't do predictions about health, and especially not in a general reading. I think that that's unethical. So I'm not saying that you're going to have health issues. I'm saying that if you have been having health issues, then I think that they're getting better, and I'm sorry you've not been feeling well, okay? So I don't believe in medical astrology, and definitely I don't believe in medical astrology for groups, I believe the chart and astrology reflects us in some way, to some extent, all the time, in all aspects of our life, but I just think it's very problematic to tell people about health matters like flat out like this. I just feel like it's not the best. A doctor's better than Veroosh. But yeah, for those Libras who have been going through a health issue, I wish you the best, and I do have a hopeful feeling about it. But go see a doctor. Don't use my comments as a guidepost for that. First house. The spotlight is on you, 9th house. for yourself. And then the 4th house, very lucky house. Moving forward towards something with very authentic energy. You're being seen by others for who you are, and they're accepting you. This will lead to great success, and this will lead to great personal advancement. Then we have the Teacher card, which is Taurus. The Teacher card, which is Taurus. This is the Hierophant, the 4 of Trees, Sun in Capricorn. I just feel like there's like a selective energy around you in which you're choosing how much to share with others and how much to keep to yourself at this time. I think that by controlling information about yourself, the image you project and so forth, I think that you're setting a very good impression. King of Swords, control. Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, I feel like that's you. In a workplace situation at this time, Libra, I feel like you're making a huge impact by being extra professional. And I feel like if you are going through a health situation, I don't think many people know about it. I think that you're dealing with it privately, and I think that you might be getting like the most amount of praise without people knowing that you're going through this privately. The moon is in Libra next week, on the 15th, 16th, and into the 17th, early morning. I'm saying this for the West Coast, so this will be a good transit alongside Aldebaran. If you're not sure about this health condition or any matter in which a decision needs to be made, I feel like wait till the 15th, 16th, and 17th. You might have... I feel like some of you are looking for answers with regard to like what to do, how to approach a situation on a logical way. That transit is going to give you some really good understanding. The next message is we have the King of Wands, couple kings, big decisions, Ace of Wands. Some of you might change something around you, change of home, change of direction at this time. Redirect something because it's necessary. Redirect in a different direction. And then that's going to be, you're going to find a solution to this problem that you're toying with, that you're dealing with at this time, Libra. I feel as though you might ask for help and support from authority figures such as doctors, lawyers, financial planners. People are going to watch out for you and give you the right path. So I really feel like some of you are feeling a little bit beguiled, like whatever's going on in your life is overwhelming and you don't know what the right solution is. I think this week you will find how you feel about it and what you feel the best steps are to be successful. I feel like the Hierophant here has a lot to do with your capability. So even if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, I think it's a sign that you're completely capable and completely able to resolve this situation. It's a conundrum. It's like it's something that's really not easily solvable or not easy to find a solution for. And I think it's bothering you because you want to have a solution. You're not quite sure how to approach it yet. Again, wait till the 15th, 16th, and 17th. If you don't find out by then I think you will during those 2.5 days. Let's see your signs that are important for you to pay attention to. Sun, Moon, and Rising. So we have Aquarius showing up. Is anybody paying attention who's watching the whole video? Which sign didn't show up for any sign yet? I think Virgos didn't, right? Cancer. And then Taurus. I don't remember, but if you're watching, it's a little game we can play. Taurus and Capricorn. And if you can figure it out, then I'll pull a card for you in the comments, okay? So just leave me a comment with which one. And don't copy another person. If you see that I've answered, then that's over. The game is over. But if you want to figure out which sign was missed, not missed, but which sign didn't come up in this dice roll today for all the signs, then let me know in the comments and I'll pull a card for you guys later. Okay, so Libra, for you important is Aquarius, Cancer, Taurus, and Capricorn. Problem solving, seeing your way through, and like not acting on something until you know what to do. That's a big thing. I also feel as though there could be some of you in a relationship situation in which you're going essentially with someone in a different direction. And I think you're trying to be tactful about doing that. And there's like a love affair that's leading you in a different direction. And especially those of you who are with someone from a very young age, I feel like you've met someone who's much more like you now, and you're trying to manage the situation in a fair manner. And so you're being drawn in this new direction. Ace of Wands in the path, okay? Or at least you've met, it doesn't have to be like leaving someone behind. This can actually mean like you've met someone at work, or someone's around you who's more than what you have, for those of you who are in this situation, who's more like you now. And especially if it is that situation where you got together as teenagers and now you're two different people, and now you meet someone who's much more like who you are now, and there's a powerful connection between you and them, okay? All right, so good luck, Libra. Now the next card, Cancer. Happy new moon in Cancer. I bet you guys got spoiled serious this week. We just passed that. And then we have new moon in Cancer, lots of water sign energy. Mercury moving into Cancer on the 11th. A lot of good frequency. The moon is already in Cancer at the time that I'm reading this. Let's take a look at the houses that are affected by these transits. So we have the 6th house is very important. 6th house. And then we have the 2nd house, money house, hey. And then we have the 5th house, the fun house. So a lot of like trying to find time, a lot of being busy and trying to find time. So the 5th house is like the house of fun and romance. The 2nd house is the house of money and like your resources. And the 6th house is the house of your activities, especially on a daily basis. I think you're going to be very busy and trying to find time, Cancer, to enjoy yourself, to have a good time. I think that there's definitely things you want to do this week that are of a loving and fun nature, but it's a pretty hectic pace you're going through. And happy birthday, you guys. Who am I? I should say happy birthday right away. Happy birthday. So we have the Magician, Mercury, as your first card. I think that's the first time we had the Magician come up. 5 of Wands. Okay. Somebody's initiated something and you're nervous about it. And the Star, which is the soulmate card. Also the card of Aquarius. And I'm using the Magician as a Virgo card. Maybe that helps some of you identify it. And I also use the musician. that came out. Maybe that's a message for someone. The Magician I use as a person who's interested in us. So this can represent someone who's making a gesture towards you, who's making a pass or likes you in some ways, telling you that they like you. And so I think that there's an initiation towards you, Cancer, and I think you're nervous about it. Not that it's bad. I just think that 5 of Wands, you're just like, but I think there's good things that are coming from it. The Destiny card, the Star, this is the first time the Star came out. Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, water and water. I think somebody really wants to get in your face, like somebody likes you and they really want you to know it. I think this isn't just like a crush. To me, the Magician is like someone who's like actively pursuing you, in terms of relationships. 8 of Hearts, which is Pisces in Saturn in Pisces. And then we have Queen of Angels, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I don't know if this is a friend group, but I think that you're aware of this person's ex-partner, man or woman, and I feel like it makes you less interested in this person. This is actually saying that this person's a really good match for you. And I'm sorry if this is too specific for like all of my Pisces gang, but I feel, oh, Cancer gang. Sorry, I was thinking of Pisces. But maybe there's a Pisces message in this for you, so just acknowledge that. But the Queen of Angels and the Eight of Hearts, Cancer, I feel like you know something about this person that makes your feelings turn off, you know, towards them. But I actually think that this is a person you should consider. And I'm not saying Aquarius. For some of you, yes, but for many of you, you're nervous about this person. I don't know if this is your friend's ex-boyfriend, or you just heard through the grapevine some things, or if you heard from them about a past relationship and you're become a little bit wary. But this is encouraging you to explore this direction. So in short, you're wary towards someone, man or woman, and I feel like you're not so open towards them. But I feel like you'd be making a mistake to walk away. Okay, I think you should look at this situation a little bit closer. Let's see your signs associated for this week. So this is like lucky sun, moon, rising, people you need to pay attention to for good luck. So Libra and Scorpio, or a cusper, Libra, Scorpio, cusp. Cancer, your sign, other Cancers. And Aries, that's a surprise. If you're a Cancer, tell me in the comments about your relationships with Aries, good and bad. Let's hear the tea. Tell us. It's like Cancer and Aquarius, Cancer and Scorpio. Yes, no, Cancer and Scorpio can be okay, but Cancer and Aries, pretty fun stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is encouraging you to not necessarily walk away from something. I feel like, yeah, there could be a question mark over somebody's, but it could be slander, right? It could be like a bad reputation. And sometimes the best people have a bad reputation. Did you guys see that Black Mirror episode with like when they were doing the calculations based on like your social rank, based on like virtue signaling and all this stuff? And then she meets this trucker lady, and the woman has like a 2 rating, which is like, and she's like basically an outcast in society, and yet she's the happiest person. You know, I've met some really amazing people. One of the greatest things in my life is early on, I learned how to accept people from different walks of life and different age groups and different, like all combination, like those kinds of things. And I've met a lot of people who had a very different lifestyle than I did, particularly people who had a lot less than I do in life, you know, like in difficult situations. And, you know, there are some beautiful people out there, and this is me being Venus and Cancer, but there's some really beautiful people out there who have bad reputations, who don't look good, who have all sorts of different ways about them. They're awkward, you know. I know someone who talks to themselves, and it's like it's such a sad that they're not, I don't think they're psychotic, actually. I just think that they talk to themselves for whatever reason, none of my business, but they're like the most sincere person. So I feel like this is personal, like you have personal info on someone or information about someone that makes you wary of them. But be careful, because those kinds of things can be misleading, and some of the most wonderful people have bad rumors and all sorts of different things about them. Okay, so keep that in mind, Cancer. And I think you guys know this. I know you guys know this, but it's just an encouraging message. Okay, so here is Aquarius, the superstar. There we go. And Aquarius, I'm so sorry that your video is not out yet for the love for July through December. They have to finish up processing it in the back end. So the moment it does, I'll release it, and it covers the next 6 months. I know it's the new moon in Cancer reading, but yeah, I just have to wait. Okay. We just have to, it's really good too, your reading. So I already did it. So for you, 12th house, this is the first time 12th house came up for any sign. And then we have first time the 3rd house came up for any sign. And then the 7th house. There's something to do with like, there's something, so let me go slower. I tend to just jump into it. 12th house is the subconscious, and I would just leave it at the subconscious for now. 3rd house is like primary socialization, like when we were kids, you know, kind of vibe, like things close to home. And the 7th house is partnership. I feel like you're dealing with relationship issues a lot at this time, platonic and romantic, that are referential, that refer to your, like, who you are as a blueprint, like exactly like the foundation of who you are and what you are. Okay, let's take a look at your cards to see what frequency we've got going on for you. We have the Awakening, which is Pluto. This is like the Last Judgment card in other decks. It's just like insight, epiphanies. Mr. Deville, Capricorn, Biese. And then we have the Force, Leo, all trumps right off the bat. You're confronting with something with your partner or with people around you. There's a confrontation of a characteristic that's a difficult one, that's really ingrained in someone pretty deep. So they're not necessarily, they're responsible for it, but they're also conditioned into what's going on. So it's really hard to pry them away from it. You know, it's difficult to differentiate. Then we have the Four of Trees, Sun in Capricorn. And then we have the King of Hearts, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And then we have the Hermit card, the Virgo sometimes. Aquarius, I feel like you're gaining insight from someone's experience around you is giving you powerful insight about how to live your life. And in some way, their story is shining a light on your life in some way that's helping you with wisdom about your own situation. So you're learning how to go in a particular direction. You're addressing something in your life, Aquarius, that is sending you in a different direction. You're addressing something in your life that's very important, that's telling you to go in a different direction. And I feel as though it's something that you've been very resistant about. I'm not going to let this change. Like you were really tied to things being, or maybe you were not in denial, but like you liked that about yourself. One of these things, let's think about it. I have Moon in Aquarius, but it's like how do you say, when people want to be edgy, like an edgelord. I called you guys that in your reading, but like, when people are an edgelord and they're like giving attitude and they're like super tough, super cool, like yeah, kind of energy. It's like, that's cool and fun if it's fun, but when people take that too seriously, it's kind of like awkward and weird, and the person who's doing that thinks they're being awesome, but they're actually like, everybody around them is like, like, yeah, I see through the guns blazing there, Mr. Aquarius or whoever it is. And so I feel as though there's this, it's like coming to terms with a personality type or a feature that you may even think is complimentary, and then like realizing that it's actually working against you and it's not really genuinely who you are. It's just a behavior that you've picked up that sort of you think is cool, but it's really not. It's like teenagers smoking cigarettes. Don't ever smoke. It's gross, but like they think they're cool, but then like objectively you look at it, it's like, no, that's disgusting. And sorry to everybody who smokes, but you guys know it's a bad habit. So I feel like you're facing, or maybe someone around you is facing something that got caught up early on in their life in this foundational way, and especially through somebody else's experience. Now this could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, male or female. The frequencies here are Leo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Virgo, Sun in Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sagittarius or Aries a little bit. So it could be any of that. It's just a general guide, but I feel like you're inspired to like challenge yourself and like, or maybe someone around you is this way, guns blazing, you know, smoking cigarettes and being like a weirdo. Well, being weirdo is great, but I think that like it's informing you to go in a particular direction. It's informing you to take better steps and a better direction in your life. And this week you're going to take those steps. The awakening, I always use this first card as major guide. So the awakening here is signifying like being on point and a full awareness, okay? A full awareness of and a decision and seeing something for what it is and making a decision based on that. Okay, so let's see your important signs. Aquarius. We have Sagittarius. Okay, and then we have Taurus. Sorry. There we go. And then we have Virgo. And then we have Leo. So these people, sun, moon, and rising, may be important to you at this time. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I had super fun filming it. I'm going to read all your comments as always after we're done. Oh, somebody sent me money. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super buck. I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. I was focused on the reading, but I will see it when I check the comments. Oh, I see it. Danae. Hey girl, hey. That's so nice of you. As always, I just want to kindly remind you guys to when you're doing the super bucks, think about becoming a member instead, because then you'll get videos included in the money you send me. But I hope you guys like this. I hope it gave you guys perspective. Keep your comments coming in the description. And tell me, like, what do you want to know about? Right now, we're taking a big detour with the channel in a good way. And I'm going to be here much more moving forward just after this week. And so tell me what you want to know about. And you guys have been asking questions like that. So keep them coming. If you're not sure about something, let me know. If you're curious about something, a transit or what a transit means, let me know. And I'll try to answer it, okay? So I hope you guys have a wonderful new moon. We don't get to do this every time, but thank you for all the love and all the affection. You guys are so awesome, and I will talk with you all very, very soon. Go watch your new moon readings in the description, okay? I'm gonna go now. Bye! Bye! And those of you guys, I'll tell the story. So the Capricorn friend who I told you guys about that I used to go see movies with, when I say bye like this, that's actually her. I got that from her. So bye guys. I'll see you later. I really like that she used to say that, but she probably still does. She used to say it all the time. Anyway, happy new moon. Mind the energy. You're doing great. Pedal to the metal. It's on like Donkey Kong this week. Go have fun. Bye.